And welcome back to Zanpakuto Creation Video Series. Today's Zanpakuto Creation video comes to us from Shadows82, who asked the question, what do I think the Zanpakuto of Zatanna from DC is? Zatanna's a pretty cool character. I actually always liked Zatanna. She's one of the magically inclined characters in the DC universe. And if you hear some movement, that is Domino, right? Like, here's some noise back. That's Domino currently sitting on the bed. Normally, I get the room to myself, but because it's my day off and because reasons, she is occupying the bed as well. So it's fine. And normally, I got my room to myself, but Domino's here, as long as she's not causing any problems. If she's not, she's just enjoying the company. But yeah, Zatanna is one of the magically inclined individuals, and honestly, what's unique about her is that her way her magic works is basically she just says what she wants to happen backwards, and the effect happens. In theory, she is one of the strongest individuals in the entire DC universe. It's just knowing how to say words backwards is the thing. So more complex spells, like saying, tear apart, she would have to say trappa reet. There you go. And it would basically, she'd tear something apart. But if she wanted to say, be flung into this different dimension forever, that's a lot more complex of a statement to make. At her heart, though, she is someone who obviously likes to protect, but also is an entertainer. She loves the thrill of entertainment, and entertaining people. But is also willing to, lend her hand when need be. So, what is the Zanpakuto? What does it look like? Well, I think she has a basic katana. More specifically, though, the type of Zanpakuto I do believe, is a Keto / somewhat elemental type. It's not quite an elemental type, but it's more than just a Keto type. Now, the name of this Zanpakuto would be basically Spellbinder, which translated is Super Ubanda. Again, I get these from Google Translate, so they're not accurate in terms of what they actually would be. It's super Ubanda. And its Bankai's name would be, oh god. Let me see if I got this. Let me see if I can read my own writing on this. I believe it's Dral Kayu Bakari no Super Badai Reto, or Dazzling Spellbinder's Light. Its release command would be Dazzle. Now, you'll notice so far we haven't really touched upon anything about like imagery or anything like that. First and foremost, the spirit of this Zanpakuto. I actually like the idea of the spirit being now with the whole white dove thing with her magic act. I think is really is nice and all, but I actually like the idea of this being a white lynx. Lynxes, I've always admired the cats, like big cats. Like, it's not even a big cat; it's a medium-sized wildcat. But lynxes are just a really cool cat in my mind. They got a cool shape. Bobcats look similar to lynxes, but lynxes are much bigger. They're also much rarer than bobcats. But they are very. They're just a very. Well, I don't want to say majestic, but they're very beautiful animals, especially when you get into like a white lynx like this. This like Snow White appearance is, I think, a very cool spirit to have. In terms of what the Zanpakuto Shikai looks like, I couldn't find a really solid example for this. But basically, it's a crystal. More importantly, it's a crystal. The blade itself doesn't really change its form per se, but it basically becomes a translucent crystal, almost like a see-through quartz, if you will. It's still got the durability to a degree of a blade. It's much more durable than a standard crystal, but it does have the physical weaknesses of a crystal. So sound-based techniques would actually be a problem for this Zanpakuto. It's not really as well equipped to deal with melee attacks as it was in its sealed form, though it can still handle them all right. What the Shikai ultimately does, though, is basically it bends light through it to form basically almost like optical illusions. More than anything, one of its base abilities is kind of similar to Hinata's Shikai, in that it's like a blinding light effect. It can dazzling. It can be used to just blind an opponent. But more importantly, it can create solid light constructs to some degree. This is where the elemental / Keto aspect of it really takes form. Is that basically, she can bend the light to create somewhat of a solid construct for offensive or defenses. These constructs can range from a standard wall to, a spear or an energy lance, basically, an energy attack. Or, if she really put her effort into it, she could make maybe an animal of some kind. But the fact of the matter is, it's limited because she's got to, basically bend the light through a very thin blade. There's only so much she can do with the Shikai. However, her Bankai is a different story. Her Bankai, in essence, takes the form of a giant prism that hangs over her head. Now, she still has her handle, similar to kind of like how Zenbun Zakura or Hanako, the handle of the blade still is there, but the actual effect of the blade is gone. And because it's a very large crystal and prism, the light transforms. That basically allows her to use her abilities to the umpteenth degree, creating light constructs, walls, creatures, weaponry, cages, whatever she can basically think of and bend the light to, it's at her disposal to create that effect. That all said, though, this Bankai and Shika, this Zanpakuto, would have a fair few weaknesses. It's useless in complete darkness. Like, if Tozen were to activate his Bankai and she were to activate hers, his Bankai would completely win because there's no light for her to bend in his Enmakurogi. There's nothing there. It's also much weak. It's not useless, mind you, at night, but the Shikai and the Bankai are very weak during night because the amount of light at night is very minimal. It's most powerful during the day. There is also, as I said earlier, the whole basis of sound. Because a prism and the Shikai are, in essence, crystal-based to some degree, they are more prone to shattering over high frequencies. Now, granted, a Shikai can survive it. The Bankai for a shatter, though, as we know, won't be able to reform. It can't be reforged, at least in the traditional way. So, and obviously the Shikai, the Bankai also, that prism, while probably durable, cannot, like if Kenpachi were to go up against that prism, he'd shatter the damn thing. Hell, even lesser characters probably could do that as well. I mean, still powerful characters, lesser characters. Komamura could shatter that thing. So, it's not a design that's well equipped to handle a lot of highly powerful weaponry. That said, though, this is what I think Zatanna's Zanpakuto would be like. And I think this is the kind of Zanpakuto that would really fit towards her showmanship style, her love of entertainment, her ability, her wanting to help people, and her just general good soul. She's just a generally good person. So, ultimately, that was me pop up. She heard my elbow pop against the wall. Ultimately, that is what I think her Zanpakuto would be. But this is just my opinion. What do you think her Zanpakuto would be? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. And I'll see you folks on the flip side. Later.